Okay, so I want to talk about, real quick, A game, B game, and C game. This is a concept that I picked up from Jared Tendler. He wrote The Mental Game of Poker. You can find that on Amazon. Highly recommend it. And I wanted to talk about that as it pertains to StarCraft. So first of all, A game, B game, C game, what is it? And I will show you a lovely setup here in my match history. So this was my day for Samurai Stream, which is C game. Let's do a little graph. Can you do an L shape? Let's just do a line. Okay, let's do this. Nice. Okay, this. And then, can I just do another one? Who cares? This is supposed to look crappy. If it looks too good, then it won't be a proper MS Paint guide. Okay, so now we get to just freeform this crap. All right. You see this? Do you know what this is? Does this look familiar? Anyone who's taken some math courses, you may be fairly familiar with this. Let's just connect this so that we can do some fill. I like this. Okay. Yeah, this looks properly shitty. All right. So let's do a few other lines in this. It's a camel. Yes, it is a camel. All right. Let's do this. And let's do this. And it's properly fucked up. All right. This is a Gaussian distribution, also known as a normal distribution. If you have a bunch of stuff, there tends to be a lot of activity here in the center and less on either side. You can see this for stuff like IQ, whatever, IQ distribution. This is, in this case, for A game, B game, and C game. Let's do some colors here. Where's the fill? Here, give us the bucket. Boom, this is C game. What? It's crap. Boom, this is B game. Boom, this is A game. Let's get some nice colors here. We can just draw it again. I'm really good at drawing, as you can see here. A, B, C. Okay. A game, B game, and C game. If you can tell from this, most of it is going to be your B game. This is kind of your average range of skill and stuff. This would be number of games up here, this y-axis, and this would be your MMR kind of performance level of the day. So let's just put some for me here. This is kind of my personal distribution of skill from A game to B game to C game. So let's go down here. Let's say this is 5,500 to 5,600. That's kind of where my A game is right now. Actually, let's say 5,750, because I do beat 6K players sometimes, and I've beaten quite a few 5.8K players. So I think for a given match, I can play my A game in this range here. Okay, let's go to the B game. This is probably, what the heck happened? Okay, let's go to the B game. Let's say this is 5,300 to 5,500. This will be the B game. And over here, at last, this will be the C game, which, yeah, it can be around 5K for me to 5,300. Let's just clean this up so it's all, nope, I can't select that. I'm not good at MS Paint. You're just gonna have to deal with this. So this is all me. I can play at any given time like this, or I can play like this. And this is all me. Some people will identify as their best, and they feel like this is me. When I'm playing like this is me as a player in StarCraft. But fortunately or unfortunately, we are not machines that have perfect consistency in our execution. We wake up on the wrong side of the bed. We're sleep deprived. We have social and emotional and relationship and IRL shit and job loss and relationship changes and your car tire went out and all kinds of random shit that happens to you. And when stuff is happening and it demands your attention, it's going to push you in what? Is it going to push you up? No, it pushes you in this direction. IRL shit. IRL shit. Oops. Great. That looks beautiful. IRL shit is going to bump you this way. What is going to bump you up this way? If we wanted to go this way, let's say sleep. I can do text. Text for this one. Sleep. A good night's sleep. Let's say 8+ hours. Not even joking about that. Sleep is BIS. That's why it goes first. It's true. What else do we have? Exercise. If there's anything I know about myself, it's that if I don't exercise, especially get some cardio in, I'm kind of like a athletic dog that just gets really pissed at like every little thing. Not to the point that I'm exploding and making a scene and stuff, but I can feel it in myself that if I don't exercise, I feel like, I feel more rustled by stuff like cannon rushes and BM. All of that stuff hits me a little bit harder. But if I exercise, I feel pretty great. Let's say 10 minutes of cardio. That's like a bare minimum amount that has a massive effect on your mindset. What's another one? Diet and hydration. This one is massive. Many people don't think about it, but a lot of times you're fatigued and you're not performing very well because you're dehydrated, or because your diet is really messed up. Either your meals aren't consistent enough, or you're not having the right balance of carbs to fats to proteins and all that kind of thing. I'm not a dietitian. You can research it and kind of test out what works for yourself. But I really like working from the bottom up to increase the chances that I'm going to play my A game. Another one here is remove distractions. Removing distractions means that you have more of your mental resource to focus on StarCraft, and you're not fussing about every other little thing. I guess we can go over here next, but for me as a streamer, I have a whole category of stuff that causes me to play worse that is part of the job, and that's okay. What do we have here? Text. Give me the text. Thank you. Thank yous. Thank you so much. I don't know if I need to do this. Is that how you do thank yous? Oh my God, thank you for the subscribe. Whenever that happens, I'm thankful, honestly. And it's very important because if people don't support the channel, I don't pay rent and I can't do this for you anymore. So that's a necessary thing. Don't feel bad if you say like a resub and then a Reaper kills my drone. That's what I call a streamer tax. As a streamer, you are interacting with people while you're playing, and that's a minus to your overall focus on the game. Cyril doesn't say, oh my God, thank you for the subscription while he's training. He's a tournament player. I'm not a tournament player. I'm trying to play my best and also educate the community and set a good example of tilt management. Nevertheless, it does distract me to have thank yous and alerts popping off as we're going. What's another thing that causes it to go down? Memes and silly stuff, which are some of the best parts of streaming, where people are like, why don't you do some infestor memes? Personally, I think infestors are kind of crap at the moment. Whenever I use them, I see what they do and I say, man, that didn't really work out at all. But when it does work, it's hilarious, and that has a ton of entertainment value, which is good. So that's fun, but it's going to cause me to play worse rather than better. What's another one? Commentary. Talking as I'm playing means that I have to use my brain not only to move my hands on my keyboard and my mouse, not only to think about my strategy and my composition, but also to run my mouth and try to explain what's going on in a way that I think other people will be able to understand what's happening. This is perhaps the most important part of my job. Doing ladder games with commentary is the number one, I think, most widely enjoyed aspect of the content I create, where I'm in a match, there's an ongoing story that's developing, and I'm talking about it and I'm sharing my thoughts. People love this. It's really fun, and it helps inform their own games. Whenever a pro is like super focused, or whenever I'm doing a samurai stream and I'm trying to play really fast, you can see what I'm doing for the most part, but sometimes the high-level player pulls away from the screen so fast that you can hardly even see what happened. And in addition, they're not telling you the why or the what's next. All of that stuff is kind of up to you to try to interpret and break down. What's another thing that causes you to play worse? Cheese and BM. These things rustle the gym jams. I think most people get rustled whenever their build gets very messed up by stuff like early cannon rushes, or proxy barracks and bunkers, or like one base all-ins that you didn't expect, zealots showing up in your base really early. That stuff, it's tilting, and whenever you're tilted, you're typically going to play worse. That's okay. So the thing with all these things that make you play worse, from the IRL shit that can happen to all these different things, it's okay, and it's part of the process of being in a competitive environment where any shifts in how your day is going are going to affect your performance either for the better or for the worse. And you can't force yourself to play up at this level at any given time. This is kind of when all the good things stack up on each other, where you would check all of these boxes and you would remove all of these things, and you also wouldn't have that much else on your mind. You're very focused on your plan for each of your matchups in StarCraft. That's when the A game comes out. The way that they break this down in the book, and I think this is kind of just how the Gaussian distribution is supposed to be set up, is this middle one is about 70% of your total. And then A game is like 15%-ish. You have a dark green. 15%, and this one would be another 15% in the red. 15 plus 15 plus 70 equals 100. There's some quick math for you. So yeah, if you played 100 games, you would probably have about 15 games that were just crap for one reason or another. 70% that felt like it's kind of par for the course, and then 15% where you felt like you're on fire. Everyone has these, and the way that you improve is you cut off the very lowest parts of your C game. And I think I found one today. So I noticed in a game, this was my last game of the day too, so I was also kind of tired and done with the shit, was I forgot my third base. Holy smogalies. I forgot to take my third base in ZVT. Let's do this. And then a Hellion drove in and they killed it. It was very sad. What's another one? Supply blocked at 52 or 44 or so. Or 52, something like that. Do a comma so it's not as confusing. That also happened to me as well. So these are mistakes that happen when I'm on C game. And a way that you could approach this is you could say, okay, I'm on C game right now. If I take my third on time, and if I manage my supply in the early game, I'm gonna book it as a win, because that's chopping off the lowest part of my range. What's the stuff that happens up here for me? I'll show you. This is like the good shit. We've got Hive Tech really fast. Broods, Ultras, Vipers, fancy units. When I'm playing my A game, I tend to have a lot more swiftness and confidence in teching up really quick. And I also mix in stuff like Nidus. I do late game Nidus plays, which are pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty nice, pretty fun. What happened to that? Where did that even go? Oh well. We've also got Bane drops that happen. I do those on B game, but they tend to connect a lot better on A game. Let's do Bane drops / run by. I almost wanted to say mute is not dying. That's something that only happens for me on A game. RIP. Conserving mutas. Can I scroll this? No. Anyway, you get the idea. Will it show up if I do this? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. This is supposed to be bad. I'm not good at MS Paint. That's part of the experience, so buckle up. We did it. We did it, fam. Nice. And then the B game is kind of all the stuff in the middle. Some mistakes that I used to make was getting supply blocked at 36, but the way that I fixed that was I make an overlord at 2 minutes 32 on the clock. The reason I was messing that one up is because the Reaper is messing with you at that point, and it's unclear when your next larva are going to show up. So I just looked at my replay and saw exactly when that happened. 2 minutes 32 seconds in the game, off a 16 hatch opener, is when you have the larva to make your 30 overlord. So yeah, this is A game, B game, C game. Remember to be compassionate to yourself and forgive yourself. There's a lot of stuff that's outside your control that can cause you to play worse. All you have to do is make the most of what's happening with you. It's kind of like what Gandalf was saying, where Frodo is like, Gandalf, shit is really fucked up. I don't want to do this. And Gandalf is like, man, this has happened to a lot of other people throughout human history and Hobbit history. All you have to do is like make the most of the time that's given to you, dude. And Frodo's like, shit, that's deep. That's from Lord of the Rings. But he's right. There's stuff outside of your control that happens. Accept it. That is the weather. That is the rain and the wind that's whipping you in the face and the cold that's not fun. But that's a fact of your current experience. So you may as well embrace it, you know? And when you get to this, I don't need to tell you what to do because you feel like a boss anyway, and you can just enjoy it. So if you're in the green, have fun. Maybe share the replays with your friends, that kind of a thing. And then this is where the majority of your practice ends up falling, where it's not particularly good, it's not particularly bad, but it's you, and it's right in the middle. This original artwork is, yeah, pretty good. I think one of my better MS Paint drawings. It doesn't look that bad. It's just like a little bit messed up. This is some character right here. I like these arrows. Gorgeous. There you go, another MS Paint guide. This one on A game, B game, and C game. You got to see my C game today. Oh, I guess we could put losing streaks here too. Losing streaks. Power outage. People shouting about. That would be just a kind of distraction. Sometimes there will be people like in here when my balcony door is open and they're like, "Wow, wow, wow," and it's like, shut, what the hell? That's how it goes.